now I would like to hand the floor to Hannah.
I'm joined by John. We were slotted here to start talking about the code of conduct or the participation guide. But Richard Green got in touch with me and said, before you do that, would you, on behalf of Samvera Steering, give some appreciations? And I said, of course. So first, of course, we want to thank the University of Utah for the very warm welcome. I think this building is so nice. And I think Salt Lake City, every Lyft driver I've had has been the nicest person. So this is a great location, and I think we're all really glad to be here. I also want to thank Andrew Rauner and the program committee, again, on behalf of Steering, for the awesome work we did together. It was a lot of fun, and it was a lot of hard work. And Andrew, you were awesome. Thank you. You persevered. And again, the scholarship committee, that's really an important aspect of bringing people here who might not otherwise be able to come. So Atlanta is pretty far from Salt Lake City, and we're glad to have those folks from Emory. And a special appreciation to Harish and Brian, the chair of the local host committee. This is a lot of work, as you can all imagine. Those of you who have hosted one before, you know from experience. So we're really, really grateful. Let's give them a hand. And finally, Richard said, be sure to thank the attendees. And he's right. It's because everybody in this room, whether you're just kind of taking in the content or you're actually participating in delivering content here, these Connect experiences are really, really valuable to us all. And it takes all of us to make that, to bring that value to be. So thanks for coming. And before we go on to the code of conduct, I just wanted to acknowledge that I think if you haven't checked the news today, there's a really big hurricane about to head into Florida. And if you here are from Florida or have loved ones in Florida, if you're worried, our thoughts are with you. And if you have anything that you need, the local committee is contact them and they will help you in any way that you can. Okay, ready?
Ready.
Okay, John's gonna join me for the code of conduct. Okay. So Samvera is dedicated to providing a welcoming and harassment-free community experience for everyone. Samvera was conceived and executed as a collaborative open source effort from its very beginning, committed to openness and transparency in all that it does, code, designs, and discussions. We are equally committed to helpful and respectful communication. Historically, women, people of color, people with disabilities, and other marginalized groups have been excluded from technology work, and ironically, from open source software communities in particular. The Samvera community is committed to removing barriers to participation wherever they exist. Whoops, here we go. The Samvera community is a vibrant, dynamic, and sometimes chaotic place. We believe one of our major strengths is our ability to work together collaboratively, supporting one another personally and professionally. We're not perfect, and we don't always get it right, but we strive to apply all of these principles to our work and interactions. To the best of our ability, we work to be humble and responsive rather than defensive when someone calls us out on not living up to these intentions. The community has both an official code of conduct and an official anti-harassment policy. The code of conduct expresses our aspirations for how we want to work and interact. The anti-harassment policy provides a framework to deal effectively with issues that make any member of the community feel unsafe or threatened. The goal of the policy is to provide prompt and responsive assistance to anyone subject to any form of harassment. The policy is only one aspect of our broader desire to build a diverse and welcoming community that encourages participation and contribution from all participants without bias. If you see something, we invite your input to the policy. If you see something missing, we invite your input to the policy and in making Samvera a better place. And if you haven't already, please take time to review the documents today. They're all available from this bit.ly. We expect participants at all community events and forums to honor these standards. Building on the framework provided by the policy documents, Samvera community members work together to create and promote a welcoming and safe community. If a situation arises that you feel you cannot address alone, please contact a member of this year's program committee, a member of steering, or a helper. We're well-positioned and prepared to assist you. So again, we're going to do another round of stand-ups. If you are a member of the program committee, steering, or a helper, will you please stand up so people can make some associations with who can help them? Lots of us. Great. You'll see that the helpers are distinguished, and I guess some of the local committee members are distinguished by these rainbow lanyards, as Brian said, or as Harish said. Helpers are volunteers who give their time to ensure that Samvera remains a safe place for our open and collaborative work. We're also looking to increase our community base of helpers. So if you're interested in becoming a helper, let one of us know, or there's a helper wiki page where you can sign up, and we'd welcome that. Over to you.
Thank you. Good morning. We want our conference to be accessible to everyone. There are a few easy things we can do to lower barriers to accessing the lively conversation and rich information resulting from our conference sessions. Here we are. When in doubt, especially in large rooms with large groups, use a microphone so all the presentation material can be heard. Also, use a microphone during group-based question and answer session. Repeat the question coming from the audience. I cannot stress that enough. Clearly and audibly to make sure everyone has heard it. Share your slides publicly via the Google Drive, which I've seen most of them up there already. Thank you. And please be sure to provide speaker notes so that interested readers have full access to your presentation content. As with websites, it's helpful to add alt text images and slides for those who use screen readers. Our community is growing. There are always newcomers at the Connect meeting. Those of us who have been around a while need to make the newcomers feel welcome. We have all been that new person in the room. We've all had that experience of information overload. Let's make a concerted effort to recognize that in someone else here. If you see it, reach out and lend a helping hand. If you are new and find it difficult to insert yourself into the conversation despite your best efforts, reach out to a helper and let them know. It's not just our event leaders and facilitators who are responsible for making this a fun, welcoming, participatory event. Each one of us helps set the tone for how we work and have fun together. If you experience someone dominating the conversation or being dismissive or disrespectful of others, politely let them know or seek a helper for assistance in addressing the situation. All perspectives are invited. In fact, they're needed. Everyone's expertise is valued. Everyone here is a contributor. Reminder that microaggressions are prevalent despite all our best intentions to be aware of our behavior. Microaggressions and subtleisms are the little things we say or do, often without any awareness or intention, that make others feel uncomfortable, misrepresented, underrepresented, or even powerless. Subtleisms include, but are not limited to, sexism, racism, ableism, ageism, and LGBTQ discrimination and phobia. When in group discussion settings, it is important to repeat contributions, particularly from diverse contributors and to credit commenters, so that their words and contributions are not misappropriated. We all make mistakes. If you catch yourself doing something along these lines, it's not a big deal. Just apologize and move on. There are no imposters here. None.
Zero.
I know it might feel that way at times, but you're not. You belong here. If your institution sent you, you belong here. Welcome. So find a way to engage. Timekeeping, note-keeping, whiteboarding, greeting. Share what you're passionate about. You have lightning talks, unconference, poster sessions, work groups. Share a meal with someone new. We saw the signups earlier and they're on the wiki. Most of all, we want everyone to have fun, learn new things, and move Samvera forward. Thank you.